All right. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Good afternoon again. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys see me? Mic test, mic test. All right. Please raise your hand or type yes in the chat to make sure to let me know that you can hear me. All right. Hello, hello. Welcome to class. Thank you, Jing Tian. All right. Thank you. Okay. All right. So this is the Tenopy live sharing for lower primary writing. All right. Paper 1. Okay, if you're new here, welcome. This is a short 15 minutes session that will give you some brief tips on how to write better. All right, if you have already been here, we had a lesson last week and we will be having another lesson next week at the same time. All right. Okay, it's called Tenopy Life Sharing. Right. Bite-sized knowledge. All right, so we are going to start with the basic introductions first while we wait for more friends to join us. All right. Okay, so welcome to the Tenopy live sharing. In this session, Teacher Hetty, will be talking about how to write better. All right. If you do want to communicate with me, feel free to type in the chat box. I will be able to see all your messages. All right. Teacher Hetty is the only person who can see your messages if you type in the chat box. So don't worry if you have little secrets that you want to share. All right. Alternately, you may choose to use the microphone. If you're using the microphone, then everyone in this classroom will be able to hear you. All right. So please raise your hand if you need to use the microphone. All right. Okay. If you do have any questions during the session, please let me know either in the chat or by raising your hand. All right, so are we ready? Are we ready to proceed? Okay. So today is lesson 2 of our sixth session of a 6 lesson session. All right. Welcome, Evangeline. All right. So last week we talked about the importance of climax, and this week we're going to learn to describe actions vividly, meaning to describe it in a way that it seems to appear before your eyes, to describe it with more details to make it more exciting. And that's a tip for writing a good climax that will make an impact. But of course, the importance of climax cannot be shown just through actions. The climax needs to be built up. All right. The importance of the climax is emphasized through the build up in the rising action, meaning your characters should gradually proceed to face the problem. All right. The problem needs to develop. Something has to happen for them to reach the climax problem. All right. Or their climax achievement. Okay. All right, so that's what we talked about last week. And after class, there was a little question. All right, it was an after class quiz question, which most of you guys did not do. All right, maybe you don't know about it. If you do want to do these extra questions, please join our Telegram group. All right, Teacher Hetty will also be in the group. Okay, so let's do this quickly here. All right, quickly now. Which of the following is the best summary of a story? All right, we're not including the following action or the ending yet. So which of the following is the best summary until the climax point? Is it option A? It was a nice day and Janet went to the newly opened amusement park to play the roller coaster. Or is it option B? Janet fell and injured her knees while playing at the amusement park. She started crying as it was very painful. Or is it option C? It was a nice day and Janet went to the newly opened amusement park to play. However, she started crying. All right, so which summary included all the important points in the story? You need a setting, all right, where the character is, all right, who the character is and where are they. All right, you need a climax. What happened? All right, why the character is suddenly crying. All right, that's the climax point. That's the most intense emotion. Between the setting, the introduction, and the climax point, you need an explanation. You need a process where the character reaches that tipping point at the climax. All right, so what happened that caused our character Janet to cry? All right. You have to include that as well for your story to be complete, for your readers to not feel confused. All right, so the best answer here is You are correct, Evangeline. It's option B. All right, 今天 you're correct as well. Okay, it's option B because option B included the introduction, all right, the basic setting. Janet was playing at the amusement park, all right. It included the rising action. She fell and injured her knees. There was a climax because she started crying as the fall was really painful. All right, the problem with option number C is that although it has more description on the introduction, it's missing out the rising action. And your readers, after they read the summary, will ask you, so why did Janet suddenly started crying? Shouldn't you be happy at the amusement park? All right, option B will answer that question, making it a clearer summary. All right, so when you write summaries, if you're required to summarize your story in a sentence or two, make sure to include all the important points. All right. Okay, make sure when you're writing to include the rising action. Your characters shouldn't suddenly do anything. All right, everything happened for a reason. We talked about this last week. So this week, all right, I promised you that we'll be talking about some action. All right. So Steve and James, two friends, started fighting. Uh-oh, that's not good. But before we dive into the question of why, let's first take a look at the action. All right, how are they fighting? Okay, right now I'm going to play you a video clip. You can pick between an animation clip of minions, all right, silly little yellow men fighting, or you may pick a clip from Captain America: The Winter Soldier, all right, Hollywood Marvel movie. Which fight do you want to watch? It's both two friends fighting. Which one do you want to watch? Raise your hand if you want to watch Minion, all right? If no one raises their hand, I will play Captain America. Hello, everyone wants Captain America? Or do you guys not know where the raise hand function is? All right. Okay, anyone else? All right. Looks like Captain America still has the winning vote. All right, this is a little violent. All right, there are some guns being shot. If you're afraid of loud noises or gunshots, you might want to stay slightly away from your computer screen. All right, I will play this for a short while. All right, not the entire clip, but I will send the link to you after class. Okay, so if your volume was really high, please dial it down slightly. All right, here we go. Let's see how they fight. How was the action presented? Can you hear me now? All right, yes, perfect. Thank you. All right. Sorry for the confusion. All right. Okay, so what I was saying earlier is that that clip that we just watched could be summarized, all right? If we're going to summarize it really conceptually, could be summarized as Captain America and the Winter Soldier started fighting. All right. But imagine if the script writers in Hollywood wrote that on the script. Would the ending product be the clip that we just saw? Probably not, right? They would have to write with more details for the actors to be able to act out that exciting scene. All right, that action-packed couple minutes. Okay, so here's the trick. When you are writing, although we are not writing a script for actors to play, when we are writing, it would make your writing a lot better, a lot more engaging if you could describe the scenes, describe the fight, all right? Describe what happened, all right? James, okay, the Winter Soldier threw a punch and hit Captain America's shield, all right? Captain America rolled back onto the ground, defended himself with the shield while the Winter Soldier was shooting. All of these are details. These are details about the fight. All right, these are details about the fight. And that makes your writing and the story more interesting. So today we're going to look at some basic ways that we can make our writing, make our descriptions of fights or actions more engaging, more interesting. All right, so here are the two basic tricks. All right, first is to add details to your writing. So instead of just saying they are fighting, all right, you could use words that add more details to the description. The first type of word you could use is adjectives. Adjectives are used to describe what? All right, adjectives are used to describe nouns or pronouns, all right? Nouns or pronouns. Words such as strong, quick, happy, these are all adjectives, all right? Look how Teacher Hetty you can describe me, all right? I'm probably not strong, but I am very happy, all right? These are words that you could use to describe things, all right? A person is strong. The runner is quick. Teacher Hetty is happy. You guys are probably happy as well, hopefully. All right, so these are examples of adjectives. Another type of word that's used to add details and describe is adverb, all right? What does adverb describe? So adverb describes verbs, adjectives, or even other adverbs, all right? So they describe almost anything but nouns, all right? So if you're trying to describe an action, if you're trying to describe a state of being, if you're trying to describe, for example, if you're trying to add a degree to how happy Teacher Hetty is very happy. Very is an adverb that describes happy. All right, the adjective. Okay, so in fact, if you want to describe something that's not a noun, you'll probably be looking for an adverb. Examples of adverbs, right? A lot of adverbs ends with ly. So if you do see that, take note, it might be an adverb. All right, so strongly, all right, quickly, happily. All right. Okay, so I strongly agree. I strongly encourage you to join our Telegram group and do the after class questions. See, that's an adverb that describes how I want you guys to join the group. I strongly recommend. All right, quickly. The runner is running quickly. All right, he is a quick runner, but he's running quickly. So quickly describes the action of running. All right, happily. Teacher Hetty is teaching this class happily. Teacher Hetty is happy. All right, see how the first sentence describes my action of teaching, and the second describes my status, all right, me as a person. Okay, all right, Evangeline asking, how do we submit the questions? All right, I will show you a QR code to the Telegram group later after the session. All right, you can scan it and join the group. All right, so that's adding details with adverbs and adjectives. All right, another technique that we should use in our writing is to show and not tell. All right, is to show and not tell. So when we are trying to show something, all right, instead of saying they had a fight, we can use the following to describe the fight, so that your readers will know it's a fight. All right. So some of the elements that we could use in the technique of show not tell, all right, would be facial expressions, how your character's face looks, all right? Actions, what are they doing? Speech, what are they saying? And thoughts, what are they thinking? All right. So it could be, all right, if you want to remember it as with acronyms, is FAST, fast. All right. All right. So write fast by using FAST and write well with it as well. Remember, show, don't tell. Okay. So let's compare these descriptions. All right. Descriptions all about a fight. All right. None of these are telling, all right? This is already an improvement from the first sentence that we just read. Steve and James started fighting. All right, but there's still room for improvement from description A all the way to description C. Let's see the difference between them, all right? I'm going to show these descriptions one by one, and does anyone want to volunteer to read the descriptions? If you want to read, use the microphone. Please raise your hand. All right, Evangeline wants to try. Would you like to read description A first? Thank you. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
James threw a punch at Steve. Steve dodged the punch and fought back.
All right. Good job. What do you think about this description? All right. What do you think is an improvement from the first sentence? Steve and James started fighting. All right. There's details, right? You know how they're fighting. Okay, it's not just they're fighting, but that James is throwing a punch. All right, throwing a punch means to punch, right? Okay, now let's have a look at description B and see how it's different from description A. All right, anyone wants to read this one? Anyone else? All right, Doris, perfect. Hello, Doris. All right, 今天 let's read description C. All right, hi, Doris.
Hi.
Hi.
James threw a punch with all his might at Steve. Steve dodged the punch quickly and fought back powerfully.
All right, Doris, what different words do you notice? Additional words? What's the difference between description A and B? Anything you noticed? All right, okay, very good, yes. All right, some of you guys are saying in the chat, there are adverbs, all right? There are adverbs and adjectives, all right? James threw a punch with all his might, all right? It's describing how he punched, not lightly, not softly, but with all his might. And Steve would have to dodge it quickly and fought back also powerfully, all right? Yes. Added all his might, added powerfully, all of these adverbs and adjectives that describe the action, all right? Describe the status. Right, very good. Now, this looks good enough. What else could we add to form description C? Let's take a look. All right, let's take a look. 今天, would you please do me a favor and read this for your classmates? Hello, 今天.
Eyes fixed on his target, James threw a punch with all his might at Steve. Steve dodged the punch quickly, letting out a grunt as he fought back powerfully.
Very good. Perfect reading. Thank you. All right. Do you want to tell us what differences you notice between description B and C?
Many show not tells.
Very good. Thank you, Jingtian. A lot of show not tells. All right. So we're not just telling you, okay, he threw a punch, but we're showing you how he did it. All right. So his eyes were fixated. All right. His eyes were aiming at, focusing on his target. Who is his target? Steve, right? All right, his eyes is focused on his target. All right, Steve dodged the punch, and while he fought back, he let out a grunt. All right, okay. So all of these little details that showed you how the fight is. All right. So it's not just we are telling you he's doing it with all his might. We're showing you because he's very focused on the target. We're not just telling you that he's fighting back powerfully, but we're showing you because he let out grunts, which means he's using a lot of strength. That makes sense, right? Okay, so those are the details that make this writing more interesting. Now compare description C to the original first sentence. Steve and James started fighting. You see the huge difference? Do you see the huge difference? All right. So do you see what we've done step by step? None of the steps are really hard. Yes? Yes, thank you. Thank you, Jing Tian. All right, it's very different. All right, none of these steps are super hard. All right, all of you guys could do it. Okay, but it makes a huge difference in improving your writing. So aim for description C. All right, aim for description C, and sometimes description B if you don't want your writing to be overly complex. All right, aim for description C, B's, and C's, and avoid descriptions A and the one sentence description. All right, so that's a tip on making your climax, the action scenes in your writing, more exciting. All right, engaging your readers more. All right. Okay, so here's a page that I would recommend taking a screenshot later. All right, so formula for coming to the point of description C. Okay, so we're breaking down. All right, we're breaking down FAST into FTS on this side, facial expressions that shows how the character is feeling. Thoughts that tells you what the character was thinking. Speech telling you what the character is saying. And if we pick from these three categories and we add it to the actions of what the characters are doing, this in the end forms the sentences that we see in description C. All right, let's check back. All right, look at description C. Eyes fixated on his target. All right, that's facial expression. And then we have the action of throwing a punch. All right, we have an action. We have a speech. All right, letting out a grunt. And then we have another action. So it's the combination of one or two of these categories and an action that forms an exciting sentence, all right? And of course, on top of that, please remember to add the details with adjectives and adverbs. All right, you're encouraged to take a screenshot here, and if you are struggling with describing the most exciting scene in your story, okay, you can use this formula to create the sentences, all right? Sentences like description C. All right. Yes, C is the most interesting and most impactful writing. All right. Within these, of course, there's still room to improve. All right. There's still room to improve. Okay. All right. All right. Moving on. So that's our formula, and let's practice. Let's practice this a little. So now I have one sentence. This is description A, telling you the ending of the fight. Steve tackled James to the ground, all right? Meaning to pin him to the ground, all right? Signaling that the fight is over. How can we add more details? Let's first do the level of description B, all right? Okay, so I have a few blanks here for you where you can fill in different words to describe it more, all right? To add details. What kinds of words should we fill in each blank? All right, Steve tackled James blank to the ground. What kind of word should we fill in here? An adjective or an adverb? What do you think? What are we describing here? Steve tackled James blank to the ground. What kind of word should we put in a blank? Adverb. Very good. All right, very good. Adverb. Okay, because we are describing, we're adding details to the action of tackling. All right, tackling is to pin someone down. All right, to push them on the ground and pin them there. Tackling them to the ground. Okay, so it's an adverb here. All right, tackled him to the ground. How? How did he tackle James to the ground? All right, the blank fight is blank over. All right, what should we put in the first blank? The blank fight. That's one phrase. Right, this time we are describing the fight. Right, this time we're describing the fight. For describing a fight, all right, what should we use? All right. Oh, very good example, Evangeline. All right, very good. Okay. So in the first blank and the second sentence, all right, it should be an adjective, all right, because we are describing the fight. We're describing the fight. Very good, Jing Tian. All right, the final blank. The fight is blank over. This time we're describing over, all right, is blank over. This is a status, all right. It's an action. Perfect. It's an adverb. Very good. Very good, Jing Tian. Very good, Doris. And very good, try me. All right. So it's adverb, adjective, and adverb. All right. Okay. Evangeline has a has a very good answer. Evangeline says, Steve tackled James powerfully to the ground. The bad fight is finally over. All right, that's a very good improvement. Teacher Heidi has a slightly different version. All right, but we're going to work a little with that. All right. So now we have, all right, the bolded words are the added adverbs and adjectives for you to look at. All right. Steve tackled James harshly to the ground. All right. Powerfully, forcefully, these would all work. All right. The aggressive fight is finally over. The bad fight. All right. The serious fight. All of these are accepted. All right. Finally over. Okay. You notice I have 2 more blanks here. These are blanks where we can use the show, don't tell technique and add a little more to your writing. All right. Okay. Because of time reasons, I'm going to show you an example, but feel free to come up with your own versions, all right? Feel free to come up with your own rewrites, your own details, your own ways of showing the action, all right? Your own ways of showing how Steve tackled James harshly to the ground, all right? Maybe he's gritting his teeth together tightly, all right? Maybe he's once again letting out a grunt, letting out a yelp, all right? All right, now we can also add a speech, all right? We can let Steve tell us that the fight is over. That's enough, Steve yelled, all right? And the aggressive fight is finally over. Ice-boggling, very good, 今天, all right? Ice-boggling, all right? Ice-boggling, Steve tackled James harshly to the ground. All right, Steve is also very mad. He's very focused, right? He's using all his strength to pin him to the ground. Very good job. All right, so see how we are adding descriptions step by step to make our sentences more interesting and more engaging. All right, so this is a little writing trick for you to learn, all right? Our final takeaway for this class, don't tell, show, and explain. All right, the better you describe these actions, the events in your story with details, the more exciting your climax and of course your entire story will be. All right, so always remember, show and don't tell. Add details where you can and make the story exciting and engaging. All right. Okay, so next week we're going to let Steve tackle James to the ground and ask him the question, why would you do that? Why would you punch me in the face? Why would you start a fight? So we are going to interrogate James next week and find out his motive, all right? His motive, his reason for doing this. Okay, so stay tuned for next week's class if you're interested in knowing why James started the fight. Any questions on class today? All right, next week. It's next week, all right? Okay, very good. Thank you. If you have any questions, please let me know. All right, if you do want to join the Telegram group for more practice questions, please scan the QR code on the screen. All right, please scan this QR code that's on the screen. All right, I'm going to pause here for a while for you guys to scan it. All right, in the meantime, I am going to send you the video links in the chat. All right, the video that we just watched. Okay, the first link is the Captain America Winter Soldier scene. Do note that some of the scenes might be a little violent. All right. Second link I'm sending you is the link to the Minions video. This one is PG rated, so it's fine. It's quite a funny video, so enjoy it. All right. Okay, have you scanned the QR code? Please scan the QR code and join our group. All right. Please scan it. Keeping this on the screen for a while. All right. And if you are interested in taking longer lessons with Teacher Hetty or with other teachers at Tenopy, we offer regular classes that covers paper 1 and paper 2, all right, in English language for primary 3 all the way to primary 6, as well as lower secondary. We also have maths and science classes if you're interested in those. Please go to the Tenopy website, all right, sg.tenopy.com, and sign up for a trial class if you're interested. All right. Maya's asking me, why did James punch Steve? Maya, if you're interested in that question, if you want to find out why, or if you want to come up with an explanation, remember to come to next week's class, all right? We're going to talk about motives next week. We're going to ask James, why did you do that? Okay, all right, have you scanned the code? If you have scanned the code, all right, class is officially over. All right, if you do not have a device with you, take a screenshot, all right? Take a screenshot of the screen or ask your parents to take a photo of it, then you can scan it later. All right? Okay. We are also offering some fun workshops, all right? Fun and useful workshops during holiday session. If you're more interested in those, also feel free to sign up, reach out to customer service for more details. All right, here's a list of the workshops that we do plan to open. A lot of transitioning workshops that will help you move smoothly to the next level of study. All right, if you're interested. Okay. All right, I'm going to leave this advertisement on the screen. And if you do have any questions, feel free to let me know. If not, thank you for coming to today's Tenopy live sharing session. And I'll see you guys again next week. All right, have a good day ahead. Good night and goodbye. All right. Of course, if you want to talk to me, feel free to do so. All right, goodbye. Goodbye. If you're interested in any of these classes, please let us know. All right. Goodbye, Evangeline. Goodbye, Maya. All right, Maya. Is that how I pronounce your name? All right, bye-bye. All right. Okay, Maya, the video link, I'm going to send it to you right now. All right, can you see the link? Bye-bye. All right, thank you. Thank you, Maya. All right, have a good week ahead. I'll see you next week. Goodbye.